Moms in the room, you are the #1 influencer. Badger #2. Yes. Hey, we were. So what I want to tell you is, don't let go now. Now is when the biggest, most important decisions that they're going to be making are happening, and they need you to listen to them, to be involved with those decisions. Don't make the decisions for them. You can question the decisions they're making, you can question the choices that they're making in college and in their personal life, but you need to be there as a sounding board and as somebody that supports them in their academic process. That's what we do from our end as their college support, but they still need you and your support that you give them. Ooh, very scary. It's like a not moving room if you don't move around. Yeah. Okay. So every once in a while you have to go like this or the lights will go out. So that is all I'm going to say for tonight. Again, thank you for taking the time to be here. Continue to partner parents and students and continue to use us as a collaborative team that will help you achieve your academic success. So I'm going to turn it over to Doc.
All right. Come on, y'all give Dr. King a real good hand there. All right. So, every organization needs a strong leader, someone to help guide and lead us to where we need to be. And we have that in the Bridges to Success Department through our director, Dr. Tanisha Carter, and she's coming now to introduce the staff of the Bridges to Success.
Good evening, everybody. I have the pleasure of introducing our staff, the people who are charged with working with your sons and daughters every single day, causing us to have gray hairs and all those things. No hairs for some of us. But it is an honor and a pleasure to be able to work with so many young people. They definitely keep us on our toes at all times with something new and different every day. No day is the same in Bridges to Success. Right on that side over there, we have Ms. Tracy Godfrey. She's our advisor on the Osceola campus. We have Ms. Ann Barreto. She's the East Campus advisor. I don't see Julex. We have Ms. Julex Cordova. She is the staff assistant. They're probably out front signing people in. Mr. Gary Morgan, he's also one of our staff assistants. Of course, we have Dr. Sylvester Robinson, West Campus advisor. Ms. Jennifer Tomlinson in her absence tonight. She's also the West Campus advisor. And then we have Mr. John Stover, the manager for the Bridges to Success program. So these are all the people who work with your students day in, day out on all of the campuses that the Bridges to Success program has offered. We appreciate you being here tonight. To see so many of you, I'm afraid Fire Marshal gonna come, but so much of us in here. But we are going to keep the program moving, and we hope that you enjoy the program we have for you this evening. Thank you.
All right, all right. Thanks, Dr. Carter. We appreciate that. Boy, I'm feeling like I'm in church. I'm really ready to do an offering for real. All these people. My. Keep the train moving. Everybody want to go past the offering, even in church. All right. All right. They leaning on the wall, really. It's the sensors that are on the wall that they keep leaning up on. All right, now we have from the Parent Advisory Council, Ms. Kawana Lawson, and the parent involvement is so important. And so as she comes to introduce and talk about the Parent Advisory Council, Ms. Kawana Lawson.
Good evening and welcome to the 2013 Parent-Student Symposium. This evening's event is designed to allow parents and students yet another opportunity to connect with the Bridges program. We're glad that you took time out of your busy schedules to be with us this evening and to support both your student and Bridges. The mission statement for Parent Advisory Council, which is also known as PAC, is as follows. We are parents of Valencia College Bridges students who invest in their lives through academic, civic, and cultural endeavors in order to promote their scholastic achievement and enhance their collegiate experience. Bridges holds monthly PAC meetings to keep parents and guardians informed of program requirements and the progress that students are making while they are attending Valencia College. If you have skills in fundraising, membership drives, writing newsletters, tutoring, public speaking, or working on committees, some of the tasks that we are assigned within the PAC committee, we would like to solicit your involvement. It is our hope that you will join us by leaving your contact information at the table prior to the party this evening. The table desk out front where we signed in at. It is my hope that you will enjoy this symposium, interact with other parents and students, and leave more enriched than when you came. Welcome once again, and thank you for coming.
Next on the program is a Bridges program update from Mrs. Jennifer Tomlinson, and she's not here, so I'm going to do it. No, I'm not Jennifer. I don't look like Jennifer. But we as part of our update, we want to say there's a lot going on, there's a lot happening. As you can see, and those who've been here, that Bridges is growing and is growing rapidly. And so there's as we move forward, students, you really got to pay attention to what's happening. To the parents, we just want you to know we just completed the appeals process. And now if you don't know nothing about it and your student did an appeal, that means y'all not communicating. They didn't want you to know. But there's probably some, if you've seen some mail recently from Valencia at your house, that means they had to do an appeal. And some of them know that there's things that they have to do to get reinstated, to have their scholars come off of probation. And so, just ask them when you get home tonight, did you have to do an appeal? And then if they look kind of frustrated, they say that no real slow, you know they probably had to do one. And then you ask them, well, what are the additional things you need to do so that you just keep your scholarship? We had a number of students who lost their scholarships because they did not do what they were required to do. And the last thing we want to do here at Bridges is take the scholarship back from the students. Our goal is to help them be successful. And let me say this to you, parents. The last thing that we normally remove a scholarship for is an academic reason. Is when the student will not do the community service or the workshops. And so a lot of people lost their scholarship because community service and workshops is something you can control. And we need you to make sure that your students are doing the community service and workshops. They're required to do 30 hours each semester, 4 workshops each semester. And so we get a lot of excuses to why they can't do it. But the biggest thing I need them to understand, and for you as parents to understand, the amount of money that Bridges is putting into them, we're asking them to do 60 hours of community service. And when you really break that down, so they can understand and they understand the value of scholarship, we're paying them over $50 an hour, okay, for community service. There's no place out in town gonna pay them that type of money, not just yet. Not that they won't ever get there, but they're not getting it now. And so they got to understand the value of the scholarship. And so part of my update tonight is to really challenge you to push your student to ensure that the community service is done, ensure that they go to the workshops, and so that they could their scholarship could stay in place. Okay? How many parents want to start paying for this school stuff? I didn't think any would. And so that's one thing. We also have coming up, what day is the debate? The 30th. January the 30th, they have a debate going on here between Rollins College and, China? Beijing, China. Who? Is it Japan? Oh, it's China. It's Beijing, China. school you go to? So between Providence College and Beijing, China, and it's going to be very interesting. I challenge all of the students, even parents, come out, support this. You know, and it's going to be hosted right here at Valencia, and it's part of Bridges is part of supporting this. And the start time, what time is the start time, Dr. Carter? 6:30 on the 6 o'clock. 6 o'clock, come on out, be a part of it. And I guarantee there's some great things going on here. Be involved. Parents, we need your help. Support us. Just stay in touch with your students. Stay on top of them. You know, I know they don't want to give it to you, but figure out how to get on their atlas to see what's going on. All right? And so we thank you. We appreciate it. I appreciate all your support. Advising sessions are going on. And so if you haven't had your advisement session, you need to make sure you get an appointment. And I know some of y'all got non-compliant letters for missing that first mandatory meeting. And so you need to come by and make an appointment so you can fill out your non-compliant letter. If you don't show up, guess what? That deals with community service in those meetings. That's stuff you can control. All right? Let's keep the train moving. Somebody say, keep the train moving. All right, all right. All right, now we're going to have Ms. Loveline Toussaint to come and introduce our guest speakers for the evening. She's a student. She's part of the Bridges to Success program. We have two dynamic speakers on tonight. You're going to enjoy them.
Good evening, everyone. Like Dr. Robinson said, I do have the pleasure of introducing two very phenomenal guest speakers, and they do have some very special things to share with you. Our first guest speaker, Jason Griffith, comes from the south side of Chicago in Harvey, Illinois. There he attended elementary school at Maya Angelou Brooks Junior High School, where he graduated as the #1 8th grader in the Chicago suburban area. He then attended the Thornridge High School, where he was a notable student athlete. Jason Griffin was a 4-year letterman in football, baseball, and basketball. Griffin, a highly recruited athlete in all 3 sports, and a scholarship offers from universities throughout the country. He was drafted by the Minnesota Twins after his senior year in high school, where he did decline to pursue his college education at Iowa State University on a football scholarship. He later moved to Baton Rouge to attend Southern University, where he finished his college education. Griffin received a bachelor's degree of science in economics and computer science. After concluding his college career in education and football, he pursued his opportunity as a professional athlete. In 2004, Jason became the co-founder of a Christian music school called Griffin School of Music and Performing Arts. While pursuing his opportunity as a professional athlete, Griffin was able to enroll in graduate school to pursue his postgraduate degree. In the summer of 2005, Griffin received his master's degree in economics with the emphasis in international trades at Louisiana State University. In 2007, he established the Jason Griffin Foundation that has helped change lives for many of our children, single mothers, and single fathers throughout different areas of the country. The following year, in 2008, Griffin started his own training company titled Elite Private Training Incorporated in Irving, Texas. During the NFL 2010-2011 season, Griffin served on the Oakland Raiders coaching staff as one of their strength and conditioning coaches. Following the end of the NFL 2011 season, in 2012, the MLB New York Mets signed Griffin to a contract where he's currently entering his 2nd season with the organization as one of their 5 head strength and conditioning coaches. In addition, he is launching his own sports drink and bottled water. Look out for that. And Griffin gives all the glory and his success to God, his mother, his older brother, and his grandmother. So please join me in welcoming our first guest speaker, Jason Griffin.
Good evening. Thank you for the introduction. First off, I just want to thank God for having an opportunity to be here tonight, and Valencia College parents and students for having me tonight as well. But before I get started, I don't know how many single fathers, single mothers here in the audience, but if you are a single mother, a single parent, please give yourself a round of applause. You know, being here at Valencia, you know, as I was driving over, and a lot of people that probably don't know me, but people that do know me, I really don't, you know, write anything down or, you know, have a little script or anything, but I just try to speak from my heart. I've been doing this for a while, and I just try to, you know, speak from my heart and just kind of give you the realness of what's really going on here in our society. And hopefully, especially to the students, hopefully when I get done speaking here, that I can change the thought process, not only about life, but about being a college student and what it takes to be successful. And of course, I was sitting in the seats just like you, coming up, you know, but who would have thought that somebody like myself, you know, coming from the south side of Chicago, with all the nonsense, with all the issues that have to go on every day growing up to be successful. You know, who would have thought that? At the time, I didn't even know myself. But one thing I can tell you, students, especially students, your education is so important. And a lot of times, we take it for granted. We take it for granted. But trust me, it's only one thing that can get you going in the right direction. You might not understand it now, but trust me, in the next couple of years, couple of semesters, you will. But this right here is the only thing that's gonna get you through life. This is the only thing that'll get you through life. It's the only thing. But it's up to you to understand that, to respect that, to know that. Yeah, you're here for a reason. You're probably here because of your mother, your father, your respectful guardian probably said, well, you need to go get education. And that's fine. That's fine. But at the end of the day, when you wake up and look in the mirror, you want to do it for you. Do it for yourself. When you graduate from high school, life starts. Life starts. And some of you are like, well, you know, I'm here at Valencia, and, you know, I didn't get the opportunity to go down to Gainesville to some school with the Gators. I didn't get a chance to go to Tallahassee, Seminoles, Florida State. And what's that local school, I guess, here at the Knights, UCF? Whatever. It doesn't matter. But guess what? If you don't know, you're getting the same opportunity. The same opportunity that the kids, the students down there at that 40,000 student campus in Gainesville, the other 40,000 up in Tallahassee, you're getting the same opportunity. It don't matter if you're at Valencia. You're getting the same type of faculty, staff, with experience just as good as them. But it doesn't matter if you're at Valencia. It doesn't. And I tell people all the time, don't never let another person's opinion become an opinion of your own. Don't never let that happen. Don't never let it happen. At the end of the day, you are controlling your own destiny. You are controlling your own destiny. I be saying that. So you are in control of getting here every day, take your courses, excelling. You are in control to say, hey, I'm graduating. You are in control to say, hey, you know something, I leave Valencia, I want to go to medical school. I may want to go to law school, or whatever it may be. It don't even matter. But because you're at Valencia, it don't mean nothing. I looked it up. Y'all top of the nation. Y'all top of the nation. So obviously, not only you as students doing something right, but the faculty, the president of the Valencia, all these special people are doing something right to make you get opportunity to do something in life, to have a chance. And it don't matter what they saying outside the doors. It don't matter. The hell with them. Y'all get it yourselves and be prideful and do it with respect. It doesn't matter. You know, coming up from Chicago, you know, my mother raised me and my older brother. That's it. You know, I don't know if people know the story about Chicago. Just recently, 637 murders, 2012. 637. A lot of those murders is from gang banging, drug dealing, all that. And I woke up every day, going to the bus stop. If you don't know about Chicago, either on the right side, you're a gangster disciple. On the left side, you're a Blackstone Ranger. And you don't have a choice. But your choice to walk down the middle and not go right and not go left. You gotta fight. Had to fight every day. Going to elementary school. Had to fight for my head on top of my head. If I wore red shoestrings in my Air Jordans, I was gonna die. I couldn't have Jordans at a young age. I'm serious. Going to high school. Had the opportunity to excel. Not only from athletics, but as a student athlete. For 4 years, I put in that hard work. Football, basketball, baseball, in the spring, track, in the summer, football, and summer track. But you know something? I don't care about that. I don't care about athletics. Well, I care about my education. And I maintained a 3.87 GPA all 4 years. All 4. Okay? But here's the thing. At a young age, I experienced a lot of success. As an introduction, she said, well, I graduated number 8th grader. Not just in the district, but in the Chicago area. In the whole Chicago area, is number 1. At the age of, what, 13? I said, wow, man, that was good. I wonder how high school was gonna be. I get to high school, everything cool, I'm doing my thing, having fun. 4 years go by, graduated, top 15 of my class, out of 1,817 students, in the top 15, in the top. So I'm like, wow. I'm like, oh my God, that's good. So I thought I had the whole thing laid out that, hey, now I can go to college. My mother had to worry about paying $130,000, you know, all this good thing. I felt proud of that. I thought I was on top of the world. I did. But at the time, that nobody tell me when I got to college, was all the temptations was going to happen. Well, what's going to happen as far as, you know, people get inside of your head and try to manipulate, try to compromise your education. I'm going to tell you a story. I'm going to tell you a true story. God's no witness. And Dr. Robinson is my witness. True story. I got college. First year was great. Freshman, you know, I did well. You know, I was there on scholarship. You know, the pressure was off. Okay, my mom had to worry about paying this big bill. You know, I'm gonna get these extra Pell grants, get my pockets. Y'all know what I'm talking about. All this refund money, y'all know what I'm talking about. You know, I'm feeling good. I feel a little sporty about myself. And I got a little bit arrogant. Get success. And so early, I'm a little arrogant. I'm like big man on campus. Freshman year went well. Going to my sophomore year, I allowed a person, a certain individual, allowed this person to get in my mind. And I began to take my education. You know, I was taking it for granted. It's free, I'm taking it for granted. I allowed this individual to get in my mind, you know, because I wanted to be the man so bad, and I wanted to get that money. I wanted that money. I said, okay, how can I get this money? At the time, like, okay, I'm 19 years old, get this money. So I allowed this individual to get in my head to say, you know something, Jason, you get this money, I'm gonna put you on. Now let's get this money, let's go ahead and get this dope game going. Let's go get it. I'm like, cool. So I'm thinking, I'm from Chicago, I'm smarter than everybody else. Okay, we got a game plan going on, getting this money. At least I thought I was smart. On the way down, coming back from Nebraska, Lincoln, Nebraska from a game, coming back. As I approach my dorm room, I see DPS, 2 squad cars sitting in the, you know, front of the dorm. And I'm saying to myself, I ain't not normal. I get out the car, I'm walking, I'm struggling. Jason, yeah? I'm walking, you know. Jason, like, yes? Get over here. Can you please come with us? So, you know, I'm cool, I'm from Chicago, so hey, whatever, you know. I'm used to police every day. So, they say, you know something, Jason need to come with us. Little did I know, because I thought I was being smart. I was stashing cocaine, not just the crack, but the actual pure white cocaine. Like the actual thing. I put it outside my dorm room in like a little laundry, little closet where they keep the mops and all that. So I'm thinking I'm smart, so I cut a hole and, you know, I'm like, man, put it in there, stashing it. Get my money. At least I thought. Come to find out, there's a little camera in that room. I kid you not, true story. Dr. Robinson can attest to this, true story. So I thought I was smart. So come to find out, they was building a case that whole semester against me and got all the facts. And to add to the story, this is one of the reasons I don't even talk on the phone. A lot of people don't notice about it. I don't like talking on the phone. They had tape recordings of the conversation going back and forth about selling it, getting this money. They had all that on record. So of course, I'm from Chicago, trying to lie. I don't know what you're talking about. I was done. After that semester, coming back for the spring semester, they come back. Now it's 4 squad cars in front of the building as I pulled up. Jason, you have been arrested for distribution of narcotics, cocaine, and also violating the Tax Stamp Act. If you sell anything in the United States, you have to put a tax on it. So they got me with that too. They got me with that too. Okay? But here's the thing. Here's the thing. I had got charged. And faced 5 years in prison. The charge, I was going to face 5 years in prison. But by the grace of God, and to that judge, he said, you know something, Jason? This got to be a mistake. I had people sending in character letters on my behalf. I had coaches that I didn't sign with them. They would still have my corner, my back. Write letters in and say, that's not the Jason we know. That's not the 3.87 we know. That's not the guy that was working hard and had everything made. The judge said, you know something, Mr. Griffiths, I'm going to do for you. This is what I'm going to do for you. I'm going to give you an opportunity at life. I'm going to suspend your 5 years. I'm going to suspend your 5 years. And I'm going to give you 3 years of probation. And I tell you what, Jason, if you do your first year successfully, I will suspend the rest of your probation, expose your record, give you another shot at life. Another shot. But before I saw the judge, it took me to get incarcerated, to sit in that jail cell, in a little cell with a little jumpsuit on, feeling hurt. Because I just took my education going to school for granted. I just took it for granted. It took me getting incarcerated to understand how important not only my life was, but my education. How can somebody be so smart and so dumb and make a mistake like that? I was 19. Dumb. Allow somebody to get in my mind. But you know something? I manned up and said, you know something? This is my choice. Because the person put a gun to my head. Yeah, I made a choice. I had made a bet. I had to land. I'm looking at the audience right now. 18, 19, 20, 21, 22. There's going to be temptations out here. But don't get caught up. Don't get caught up and don't get the opportunity, that you have here at Valencia and take it for granted. But who would have thought that after this situation in my life, that I was going to go ahead and spend my junior year, senior year, accomplish things I accomplished. Who would have thought, coming from Chicago, that I was going to be able to bounce back? And you know what they said back in Chicago? Just another talent down the drain. Smart, athletic, back at the crib. About to go back, game banging. But you know something? I said, nah, not me. I got another shot at life. I'm about to go get it. I'm about to get it. I'm going to take it. I'm going to own up to it. And I said, hey, moving forward, I'm going to do everything with conviction. With conviction. Ain't nobody going to stop me. I ain't going to let nobody stop me. So guess what? What I do? Well, you ain't going to graduate. I graduated. Not with 1 bachelor's, 2. Before I even turned 22, I had 2 bachelors. Before I even turned 22. And then, not only that, he could go to the next level and play sports. And I called and told my mama. Because remember, when I was 17, I got drafted by the Minnesota Twins. But because of the fact I was 17, I didn't know to do all that money. I told my mom I'm going to college. Let me go ahead and do something I really love. But I was still able to excel, so I'm getting phone calls and say, hey, I can make how much? What? Okay. Oh, you ain't going to make it. I made it. Not only that, but who would have thought, not only playing sports, I was able to, in the off season, go to LSU down in Baton Rouge and get in the top. It was ranked number 3 at the time in the world in my field, in my department. They had people from all over different countries, the top of the best coming in this program, international trades at LSU. And guess what? There was only one minority from the south side of Chicago. Well, you ain't gonna make it, Jay. They too smart for you. Oh, really? 2005, I got that too. A master's, I got that too. I'm like, okay. I'm gonna let nobody take this from me. And I said, you know something? It took me to go to jail to understand how important this right here is. Because I don't give a damn about athletics. That's only temporarily. And when you get done, you still got the rest of your life to live. But because I had 2 bachelors and a master's, and then I turned down 4 doctoral programs because I'm not getting in debt. I'm not to do that. Unless I'm not. I have my reasons. I'm not saying don't do it, but me personally, it wasn't going to be for me. I turned down 4 of them. 4 invites as a doctoral program. Oh, you ain't going to do it. But you know something? What I'm trying to tell you is that don't take your education for granted. Don't compromise your education for nobody. So after this year, maybe 2014, a bachelor's might just get you in the door. Might get you in the door. So you might have to work a little bit harder to get a continuing education. Create your own opportunity. Don't let anybody else create it. You create your own opportunity. The way that you're going to do that is, for one, don't compromise your education. 2, you're going to make the right decision at the age of 19, 20. So you have to worry about having a big issue like I did. You have to get set down in jail to wake up and say, man, WTF, what I'm doing? I messed that up. You know? But here's the thing, but who would have thought I would have bounced back? Who would have thought? Moving forward, I'm trying to tell you is that, and please, just feel me on this. I'm trying to tell you. 18, 19, 20, 21. You are always going to persevere in life. That's the biggest talent you have inside you, perseverance. You persevere every day in life. And every time your feet hit the ground, get an opportunity to do something special. You do something special. That's coming to Valencia College doing education. That's coming here to understand, say, hey, I got a plan. I got a plan to do something in my life. And I'm going to do it. And I don't give a damn about what they say outside these doors. It's up to you to do it with conviction. Conviction. Have it inside your heart. Even with your mama come home sometimes and say, oh, girl, you ain't going to make it. Oh, boy, you ain't going to make it. It don't matter. My mom can tell me right now, son, you still ain't going to make it. You know some mom, with all due respect, you could beep, 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 beep. Y'all would let your own mama. Opinion can be your own. At the end of the day, this is your life. This is your life. You got to have everything yourself. You got to have it. And understand it. You're right, your life. You got to have it, take it. And I tell you what, when you get that success, and every person in here, even the parents, you continue to get that success, you're going to taste it, you're going to feel it, you're going to feel so good, you're going to want more of it. But not like the way I wanted, not like the success I had. You know, once I got my success, I thought I was a big man. I already told about that story. But when you get that success, you take it, don't even look back. Don't even look back. The only time you look back and say, thank you, Valencia. Thank you. That's the only time you look back. You keep on going forward. You keep on going forward. And no matter what, don't give up on nothing. Y'all got a special opportunity here. And you know, I was tired of hearing about, well, they not at University of Florida, or they ain't at no UCF and all that. They not having no symposium right now. Bridge of Success was doing something special for y'all. Go above and beyond to give you the tools to move forward in life, to do something special with your life. But who would have thought? Some guy from Chicago made it to this point. But by the grace of God, give me opportunity at life. And I took it. I never looked back since. 19. When I was like 19, I just thought everything was made for me. I really did. But it wasn't. But it allowed me to take my education and life for granted. And right now, currently in my life right now, I am happy. I'm thankful for everything. I'm thankful for that experience. Because I can tell you what, there have been 5 years of my life sitting in a cell for 5 years. There have been 5 years of my life that have been wasted. And right now, for those who are being tempted to take that path that I took at 19, I tell you right now, it's not worth it. But guess what? As a convicted felony, you don't get financial aid. You get no financial aid. As a felony, you don't get that. Yeah, think about that. Scholarship, you don't get none of that. For those who feel that, hey, I want to go make this money and be the big man on campus at Valencia, think again. Don't make that mistake I did. Don't make it. I was able to bounce back, but also, too, it could have went another direction, and I probably would not be standing here in front of you right now sharing this with you. And I hope, and I really do pray and hope, that your thought process about having an education will change and understand that when you wake up tomorrow, that it's all good. It don't matter what you did in 2012. If you didn't get the 4.0 that you're looking for, or you ain't passed every class, it don't even matter. What matters is now. January 24th, and tomorrow moving forward, you can take care of that. But you can't take care of 2012. What happened is done. You go to Dr. Robinson, oh, you know, Doc, I didn't do this. It don't matter. You wake up and fight, and you make it right, and you get your grades, you do the right thing, and have a plan. You have a plan in life. And you take it and you run with it. You take it and run with it. I'm going to leave you with this, because my time is coming up. I'm going to leave you with this. I said it before. The biggest talent you have as a human being is perseverance. You're persevering every day. Waking up to go to class, you're persevering. Studying at night, you're persevering. Being able to get good grades, you're persevering. In addition to that, just being a good son, a good daughter to your parents, you're persevering. Because it's tough. It's tough at the age of 18, 19, 20. To come home and hear that yap in your mouth, oh, where you been, oh, you studying, oh, you want to hear that at that age. I know I did, but I'm just being real. I'm being real. But you know something? But parents, I'm telling you what, do not let up on your child. Don't give up. No. Do not give up no matter what. You're yapping at it all the time. Keep it going. You motivate yourself as a parent. You motivate yourself as a parent to push your daughter or your son. Don't let them give up. If they give up, you giving up. We can't have that. We can't have that. And you do everything in life with conviction, with confidence. You come to campus, you walk with your head up. Say, I'm looking good, I'm feeling good, I'm about to do it. I'm about to do it. So right now, every student stand up right now. Every student stand up right now. Every student stand up right now. Let's go. Do it. Hey. On the count of 3, I tell you what. Count of 3, we're going to say we're going to do it with conviction. Here we go. 1, 2, 3. We're going to do it with conviction. Come on. 1, 2, 3. Please be seated. Thank you very much. I love you. Good luck to you. God bless. God bless.
Another round of applause. I told you it was going to be good, right? So our next speaker, Mr. Calvin Haynes, is a really great speaker as well. Since the age of 8, Calvin has been an active public servant and a powerful public speaker. A former student body vice president at Florida A&M University, he was most recently named the National Oratorical Champion for the Alpha Phi Alpha Fraternity Incorporated. Calvin is an internationally recognized speaker and has motivated diverse audiences throughout the world. He has served as keynote speaker for numerous national conventions, graduations, luncheons, and church services. While sharing the stage with several U.S. ambassadors, Calvin is sure to electrify, energize, and empower any audience on a range of topics. He graduated magna cum laude from FAMU with a BS in Public Relations and a minor in Political Science. At FAMU, he helped lead thousands of students to the polls on Election Day, brought speakers like Susan Taylor and Ben Conscience to his campus, spearheaded lobbying efforts to increase funding for higher education, and served as the president of the NAACP and senator in the FAMU student government. He has worked for the Department of State, United States Congress, Florida House of Representatives, and the City of Orlando. Calvin resides in Washington, D.C. and is a candidate for a master's degree in international communication and public diplomacy in the American University. Calvin is currently working in Northeast Africa on human rights and food security issues with the Department of State. He specializes in U.S.-Africa relations and will become a United States diplomat upon completion of his degree. As a commanding orator, Calvin has served as a minister for over 5 years in churches in Tallahassee, Orlando, and Washington, D.C. He is a proud 2006 graduate of Jones High School. And he strongly believes in empowering individuals to reach their full potential by following the will of God. Calvin is the co-author of Chasing the Article Rainbow, a book that offers a platform for student success by promoting education, economic empowerment, and cultural awareness. He is the founder and the CEO of the Define Moment Enterprises. Calvin lives by the mantra, in a decisive moment, you can either define the moment or let the moment define you. Calvin encourages those that he comes in contact with to define every single moment. You can follow Calvin on Twitter at Calvin Hayes 87. Now please help me welcome Mr. Calvin Hayes to the stage.
Good morning, Captain Whitaker. Here's your manifest with 102 souls on board.
Let's get them tucked in. We're ready to push.
How you feeling, man? Look like you pulled some kind of move up there, man. You saved your own lives.
We are in a dive. I have no control of myself. Everybody in great positions.
The way you landed that plane was nothing short of a miracle.
I see nothing but houses. Listen to me. Trim us nose down.
The plane fell apart at 30,000 feet.
We're gonna roll it. What do you mean roll it? Ready? Here we go.
There is all kinds of crazy news people out here. You're a rock star, man. You will never pay for another drink as long as you live.
Captain Whitaker is a real American hero.
This is Hugh Lang, an attorney from Chicago. Why do we need a lawyer? You don't remember having your blood drawn in as a crash? You had alcohol in your system. That could be life in prison.
The NTSB hearings in 10 days.
You have the microscope right now.
Are you hiding something?
You gonna shoot me? Can I come inside?
Yeah, come on inside. I'll shoot you inside.
This was an act of God.
Who's gonna do this?
Our investigators concluded the aircraft failed.
The FAA placed 10 pilots in simulators, recreated the events. Every pilot killed everybody on board. You were the only one who could do it.
You saved my mom. I want to talk about the days leading up to the accident.
This thing is so heavy it's killing me.
During the night before the flight.
Does Whitaker know he's going to jail? I'm Clemson, go to jail.
It's alive. It's alive.
I'm trying to save your life. Your life.
No one could have landed that plane like I did.
I came to win, to fight, to conquer, to thrive. I came to win, to survive, to prosper, to rise.
Bring them out, bring them out, bring them out, bring them out. It's hard to yell when the barrel's in your mouth.
Our greatest fear is not that we are inadequate, but it is that we are powerful beyond measure. It is our light, not our darkness, that frightens us. We ask ourselves, who am I to be gorgeous, handsome, fabulous, swaggerful, all the way live? Who are you not to be? You are a child of God. Your playing small does not serve the world. There is nothing enlightening about shrinking so that others will feel insecure around you. We were born to manifest the glory of God within us. And it is not in some, it is in each and every last one of us. And as we let our own light shine, we consciously give others permission to do the same. Good evening. Good evening. I think y'all can do a better than that. Good evening. Good evening. Good evening. Good evening. When I say fired up, I want you to say ready to fly. Fired up. 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 Ready to fly. Say, I feel good. I feel good. I feel great. I feel great. I fly high. I fly high. So turn and tell your neighbor, so don't you hate. Give yourselves a round of applause, y'all. Give my boy who just spoke before me, Jason, a round of applause. That was excellent. Give your administrators and your parents a round of applause. This evening, I would like to speak from the theme of how high will you fly. So turn and tell the neighbor beside you, say, how high will you fly? How high will you fly? Right now, we know each other tonight. See, that neighbor that was right beside you, man, felt like the breath was a little bit stained. They were trying to be cute and nice and all those good things. So turn and tell the other, ask the other neighbor, how high will you fly? Flying is a very, very remarkable experience. Flying is remarkable because it encompasses going from the bottom to the top, from the ground to the sky. A few weeks ago, I had the opportunity to watch the movie, the trailer that you all saw, Flight. How many of y'all saw it already? Come on, y'all need to get y'all movie game up. Like, what's going on? Like, City Walk ass there? You gonna work? All right, I got you, bro. But in this particular movie, my boy Denzel Washington had the responsibility as the pilot of the plane to make sure that that plane got to its destination. Right? Right. Planes are purposed to make it to a destination. We are purposed to make it to some type of destination. Your destination might be being the first one in your family to graduate. Your destination might be being a business owner. Your destination might be being a doctor, a lawyer. We all have destinations on this earth. But I dropped by to let you know that there are several reasons, or there are several causes for a plane and even you not being able to make it to your destination. The first reason, as we see in the movie, is because Denzel Washington was drunk. Denzel was drunk as a skunk. He was spoiled off the oil. Denzel was loose as a goose. Y'all laughing like y'all know what that's about, huh? I hope not. But truth be told, we have family members. Everybody got that one family member. Catch them at the wrong family gathering, they're a little bit tipsy, they're drunk, and they can't figure out where they're going. Even some of us. Your parents are right here next to you, but they don't know that just last week you was probably at Club Antigua. Club Limelight, and your eyesight was a little bit dreary. You were drunk. We all know what being drunk or intoxicated looks like. stage, he was like, I'm gonna let you finish. But, Beyonce deserved that award for the single ladies. Who thinks Beyonce deserved that award? Okay, we got some honest people in here. I just had the opportunity to see Beyonce perform at inauguration, so it was awesome. But Denzel Washington was unable to make it to his destination because he was intoxicated. Now some of y'all like, Calvin, how dare you say that the reason we don't make it to our destinations or where we want to go in life because we're intoxicated? Because we're on a little bit of Bud Light here. But I've dropped by to let you know this. You can be intoxicated by more than just alcohol. You can be intoxicated by fear. Fear is the biggest killer of dreams. STDs does not kill dreams. High blood pressure does not kill dreams. Brain injuries do not kill dreams. Car accidents, all these other things that we talk about, they are not the biggest killers of dreams, but your fear is the biggest killer of the dream that you have. Every single day, there are dreams buried in the graveyard that did not come to fruition. There were songs that were never written, shots that were never taken, music that was never composed, lives that were never changed because you were fearing what was ahead. You were fearing the future. The truth of the matter is we all have fears. We all have fears of what we want to be in life. So you have to ask yourself, what is your biggest fear? What is the one thing that's stopping you from going from what you are and who you are to what you want to become? What is that fear? Maybe your fear is someone told you that you're not going to be able to be successful because nobody in your neighborhood was successful. Maybe the fear is a family member that's also throwing salt in your game. Maybe your fear is that you'll just fail. Maybe your fear is because people talk bad about you. But the truth of the matter is this: people will put limits on you if they can't see the vision for themselves, or they can't conquer what you're about to conquer. Don't let fear stop you from getting your destination. People fear relationships, people fear themselves, people fear new challenges, people fear the future, people fear showing up. Somebody say, show up. Show up. Say, show up. Show up. You know what? If you don't actually be on time to your flight, and if you aren't standing at the gate when your flight is about to leave, you know what happens? That plane leaves whether you are there or not. And not only that, if you do not sit in your seat on that flight and you do not make it, there is always a person on standby waiting to take your spot. I look out in the audience, and the seats that you are sitting in are sacred. I know you're in college, I know you're doing extremely well, but I know that if you go a few years back and think back to your homeboys in Carver Shores and Richmond Heights and Mercy Drive, a lot of them aren't standing or sitting in here with you. There are also people that are waiting for you to slip up, waiting for you not to turn in that assignment, waiting for you not to go to class, waiting for you to be disrespected, just so they can take your spot. And sometimes when your spot is taken, you never get it back. So you got to show up. Showing up is half the battle. Showing up is half the battle. Because you don't get out of life what you want. You don't get out of life what you want. You get out of life what you're willing to work for. A lot of people talk about owning a business. A lot of people talk about graduating from college, but it takes work. It takes sacrifice. Young people, you will miss 100% of the shots that you do not take. You will miss 100% of the dreams that you do not dream. You got to show up for every class, You got to show up for every assignment. You got to show up for every quiz. You got to show up for every lecture. People that don't show up make excuses. Excuses. And when I was in college, we called excuses one thing. We called excuses this. Excuses are tools of incompetence, used to build monuments of nothing. And people who use them rarely succeed at anything. Showing up means listening to your parents. Showing up means listening to the guidance of the people that run this program. Showing up means doing your homework even when you're tired, even when you stayed up all night. I know you work jobs, but showing up is working through that. If you want a champion's blessings, you got to do a champion's work. Dr. King had this saying, he said, education is your passport to the future. You gotta show up. And like I said, showing up sometimes means that you have to sacrifice. You gotta have a will to show up more than you want sleep. There are some people in life that they get up just in time to make it to work, just in time to make it to school, just in time to make it to their first class. Their class is at 9, they're waking up at 8 and running over here to Valencia. But if you look all over the world, by 8 a.m. in the morning, there's somebody that learned a new language, there's somebody that exercised, there's somebody that made their dream a reality. By 8 o'clock, and you just waking up. They use their time wisely. Beyonce, LeBron James, Bill Gates, Muhammad Ali, all of them have said similar things. They said that they don't like practice so much. They hated every single moment of training. Sometimes they don't feel like getting up. But they realize that sometimes you got to do what others won't do, so you can have what other people won't have. Show up. Show up. You have an opportunity to make a dream a reality. Every single person in this room has 24 hours. Beyonce has 24 hours. Nicki Minaj has 24 hours. Lil Wayne has 24 hours. Oprah has 24 hours. You have 24 hours. What are you doing? Talking on the phone, tweeting, Facebooking? While you're on Facebook, there's a kid in China learning how to come up with the best ingredient to cure disease. While you're on Twitter, and you have to use all these things in moderation. I'm not saying abstain from it, but don't go overboard on it. While you're on Twitter, there's somebody 5 years younger than you learning another language. 5 years younger than you doing his calculus homework. How are you using your 24? Somebody say, show up.
Show up.
I even heard the little baby saying, show up. That baby's going far. I don't know his name, but yeah, show up. The next thing that you have to do when you board your plane and are trying to make it to your destination, you got to be on the lookout for something I like to call terrorists. When you get on your plane, don't just sit down. Don't just like, I'm going to be cool, I'm going to chill, I'm going to make it to my destination very safely. You got to make sure there's no danger on that plane. You got to make sure that there is nothing, nobody laying in the cut. Because the truth of the matter is this. You might have some terrorists on your plane. I say again, you might have some terrorists on your plane. I'll say it again, you might have some haters in disguise. Young people, where you're going, everybody can't go with you. Sometimes you got to leave some people, places, and habits behind. A terrorist doesn't look a certain type of way. Because a terrorist's main job is to destroy your mission. You might not think that you got some terrorists, but you got somebody right now that see that you're at Valencia, that you're doing well, that you're in your book study, and they don't like it. And they have a specially designed plan to throw you off the map. And it might be somebody that you least expect. Those closest to us can hurt us the most. Be careful who you share your dreams with. Terrorists can be somebody that is really your worst enemy, but they say that they're your best friend. A terrorist can be somebody that has love on top, like Beyonce, but it's really knocking and bucking like Crime Mob. A terrorist can be somebody that stabs you in your back. A terrorist can be someone that tries to get you to drink something other than red Kool-Aid. It might just be a terrorist. A terrorist is that homegirl, that homeboy of yours that is always gossiping, talking about other people. They quick to say, ooh, girl, you see, she mismatching, and she wearing ooh, and echo at the same time. And it's played out. You know she go shopping at the Magic Mall, right? That homeboy, you ought to be like, oh, bro, his Jordans are kind of fake. But the same ones, their life part is jacked up themselves. If you got a friend like that, might just be terrorists. Terrorists can come in all shapes, sizes, and forms. We see terrorists in all parts of life. Lion King. Simba was promised the king. Promised everything. But Scar tried to take his dreams, and Scar was a terrorist. His own uncle. Be careful of those who you surround yourself with, because you might just be entertaining a terrorist. Terrorists can also be distractions. I'm not just talking about these things because I've seen them, I've read them, I've seen it on the news and Channel 13 and showed me all the bad things that are going on in our community. No, I've lived it. I have a right to stand in front of you. Why? Because I face distractions of all forms. I graduated from Jones High School. But while Jones is doing really well right now, when I was at Jones, I graduated in 2006, the media was after our neck. Oftentimes I would see so many people say, you know, the kids at Jones will never graduate. The kids at Jones will never go to college. The kids at Jones will never amount to anything. And if you have people that are telling you these things, it's easy to get distracted. But I knew that it was something good about old Jones High School and our 100+ history. So I didn't get distracted. My mama grew up, didn't have everything, grew up in a single-parent home. I remember years in middle school and part of high school that we were on the brink of living in a homeless shelter. For 2 years straight, we stayed in a room at my family member's house, not even our own home. That was tough. Having to go to school outside of my district, administrators don't say anything now. But being on the brink of living in a homeless shelter, I could have gotten distracted, but I didn't. I even went to college, and I joined a fraternity, Alpha Phi Fraternity Incorporated. And while there's a lot of great things about Alpha, I love it. Dr. King, Cornel West, so many great men, but on the college campus, there's some distractions. Tempting you with a little Hennessy and alcohol. Alpha Punch? Oh, you know about that Alpha Punch. They call it juice, but it's really some type of punch. And it will punch you. But check this out. Not only was I tempted with that, and it could have distracted me, I never did it, but check this out. I'm married now. I'm My wife, she graduated from FAMU, she was Miss FAMU and everything. But I was distracted at FAMU. Them girls were something else. Woo. Girls telling me how low they can go. Calling me all types of nights, texting me, offering me round trips to Costa Rica. Some of my friends were like, Calvin, you should have took that. You didn't have to do that. But you should have at least took a trip. But you know what? And I ain't gonna stand here and say like it was easy, like, no, I don't do that type of things, you know, like, no. But you know what? I realized that I had an opportunity to make a dream a reality. And I could not allow the distraction or the terrorists, because I realized that if you're not careful, a distraction can lead to your destruction. I always had dreams of working in Washington, D.C. after graduation. Because I didn't get distracted, I had a chance to work on Capitol Hill with some of our nation's greatest leaders. Always wanted the opportunity to travel different countries in Europe and Israel and Africa and all these great places. Always had the dream of becoming a diplomat. But because I worked hard, because I was working while other people were sleeping, I was working while other people were on their Xbox, I was working. While people wanted pleasure, I was willing to sacrifice. Late nights, in the middle of everything else I had to do. And I can stand before you today, but because I didn't get distracted, and because I did not entertain terrorists, on May 20th of this year, President Barack Obama will be commissioning me as a United States diplomat. I'll get my overseas assignment. Be careful of who you surround yourselves with. Anybody ever heard of something called the Law of Five? Yeah. The Law of Five states this. You are the sum average of the 5 people that you are connected to. The Law of Five states, yeah, baby, the Law of Five, yeah. You are the sum average of the 5 people that you hang out with the most. Which means this. You should not be the smartest person in your crew. It's an issue if you're the one that's always the moral leader, you're the smartest, you're always going to class, because those people will hold you back. And I'm reminded of a young brother that said, these haters won't hold me back. These haters won't hold me back. You should have somebody in your circle that is smarter than you in science and philosophy. Somebody that may even have more moral strength than you. Because we all have weaknesses. We all have things that we might fall temptation to. But you can't let that be the best of you. Your distraction might be that boy or that girl. Yeah, I'm talking about it. I know you're like, hey, don't talk about that when my parents are around. Well, young sister, that distraction might be that homeboy of yours that meets you at a city walk and trying to touch you in places where the sun don't shine. And that's the only thing that it wants. Fellas, your distraction might be that girl that don't want nothing from you, that doesn't support your dreams. And fellas, I know you like women. It's all right to like women. I know you sit by your parents and you're like, oh, Beyonce, she's okay. She doesn't look I can bear with her. Y'all know. Come on, keep it real. We all got it. Another reason why planes crash is my next point. Another reason why planes crash is because they aim too low. Planes aim too low, that's why they crash. See, the problem is this. It's not that you aim high and miss. It ain't that. It's that you aim low and you hit. There's a lot of danger when you're flying your plane too low, y'all. See, when you fly too low, you run the risk of running into buildings and light poles. You ever wonder why you end up in situations? Small-minded people might be flying a little bit too low. You ever wonder why you feel like the weight of the world is on your shoulders and you're not being everything that you're supposed to be? You might be flying a little bit too low. Because you have the potential to go higher. Aiming higher, y'all, is sometimes uncomfortable. It's sometimes uncomfortable. But you have to be comfortable with being uncomfortable. If everybody realized this recipe, there would be more successful people. But in order to get something that you've never had, you got to do something that you've never done. I've had to stay up all night studying for one exam while my friends were at Taboo. I've had to read over 900 pages of work of reading in 1 week while my homeboy was chilling with his girlfriend at Lake Yoga. I've had to stay up all day, all night studying for a test. But my friends at Club Limelight, get it in. Y'all can fill in the blank. I've had to stand up for what is right, even if I have to stand alone. And I'll let you know this. Whenever you ask God to elevate you, be careful what you ask for, because then you'll realize that you'll start losing friends. But check this out. You've never seen an eagle flying in a pack. But any place that you see a pack is chickens pecking among themselves. So you have to decide if you're going to have an eagle, you're going to be a chicken. When you fly high, you may feel like nobody understands you. When you fly high, it might feel like God Himself is silent. You might feel like God Himself is silent. But check this out. You might want to take out a notepad. The teacher is always silent during the test. The teacher is always silent during the test. When you're flying high, sometimes there are things that you cannot predict. What is the one thing you can't predict? There you go. The weather. You can face a storm at any moment. And nobody in here is exempt from a storm. Storms can come at any given moment. You can go from eating filet mignon, collard greens, macaroni and cheese, and cornbread to one day eating just ramen noodles. You can go from having thousands in the bank, shawty, what you think, to knowing what a few overdraft statements look like. You can go from being as relevant as Justin Bieber, Neo, and Bruno Mars, to being as unheard of and as irrelevant as B2K and the Backstreet Boys. Somebody's like, I like Backstreet Boys still. I like Backstreet Boys too. It was good at the time. You can go from having all gold everything to being all broke everything. Storms can happen at any given moment. So how high will you fly? How high will you fly when your storm rocks and rumbles? How high will you fly when you feel a little bit nervous about reaching your dreams? In this room, there are fathers to the fatherless. There are friends to the friendless. There are those who will be sheltered to those that are homeless. In this room, there will be economists that can hopefully get us over this fiscal cliff that they're talking about. Teachers that will nurture our children. In this room, there are preachers that will motivate the masses. There are achievers that will do great things. And if you do those things, I promise you that you will shine bright like a diamond. Next slide.
I wear me.
Shine bright like a diamond. Shine bright like a diamond.
Cut it. Who all knows who sings that song? That's Rihanna, right? All right. The reason why I play this slide is because some of y'all might be like, well, Calvin, I'm not there yet. Don't have a 4.0. Don't have a 3.5. I don't have the discipline to get up on time. I'm not there yet. I don't have the best relationship with my professors. I don't have what it takes to get there. I know what you're saying, brother, but I'm just not there yet. But I've dropped by to let you know that there's a certain theory that states that diamonds are only worthless pieces of coal that go through immense pressure and heat. In order to shine bright like a diamond, you got to be ready to go through some heat. Thank you. You got to be ready to withstand the pressure. In order to change your condition, y'all, sometimes you have to change your position. So if you're tired of being good and you want to be great, you got to get off the ground. If you need some joy and not just some sorrow, y'all, you got to get off the ground. If you want to be a lender and not the borrower, you have to get off the ground. If you want to be the head and not the tail, you have to get off the ground. If you want to be in a real relationship and you just don't want a 5-star chick, you got to get off the ground. If you want the real thing and not just a knockoff version from Magic Mall, you got to get off the ground. If you want to make your dreams come true and you want to realize your destiny, you got to get off the ground. If you're tired of appetizers and you want the entree, you got to get off the ground. If you want some family harmony and less drama, you got to get off the ground. If you're tired of making C's and you're ready to make A's, you got to get off the ground. If you get off the ground, you can go from Back Street to Wall Street. You can go from the bees in the trap to escaping the trap. If you get off the ground, you can make sure that our young people go from high chair to higher education. If you get off the ground, you can make sure that our young men are picking up a book instead of struggling to pick up their pants if you get off the ground. If you get off the ground, you can make sure that our young men are running for office instead of running from the police officer if you get off the ground. In order to get off the ground, you got to pray, prepare, and perform. See, when you're on the ground, be ready for this. When you're on the ground, people are going to talk about you. They're going to call you bad names. But check this out. People talk behind your back because you are standing in front of them. Y'all didn't catch that. People talk behind your back because you are standing in front of them. So I want you to know that you got to get off the ground, y'all. You have to get off the ground. But I also want you to know that the road to success is not straight. There's a curve called failure. You'll have a loop called confusion. You'll have speed bumps called friends. You'll have traffic lights called family. But if you have a spare called determination, an engine called perseverance, a program called Bridges to Success, and a driver called God, you'll make it to a place called success. So repeat after me, say, fly high. Fly high. Fly high. Fly high. And if you fly high, you can define your moment, and you can soar, and you can make it to that place called success. Thank you so much for your time.
Oh, come on, we could do better than that. That was two dynamic speakers. Two dynamic speakers. I'm gonna call Jason and Calvin to come back up real quickly. And what we want to do is, we want to take a moment, as Calvin and Jason come on, we want to take a moment. If anyone here has a question, we just only got time for a couple of them, but you got a question you may want to ask them, or what was their driving forces, what helped them, some words of encouragement they might want to give. Anybody have a question? Any question? Give that opportunity. Yes, ma'am.
Hello, my name is Shemrith Wallace. I'm a sophomore here, and I just want to know, like, where did you start? A lot of college students, when we graduate, it's kind of difficult trying to find out where to go from there, from college. So where did you start to go to get your success?
Meaning when you're in college?
Yeah, when or when you're finished, internships, volunteers, anything. Like, where did you start?
It starts right now. It starts right now. Check this out. There will be, in your life, there will be people that will graduate from Harvard, Stanford, all of these Ivy League institutions. But the key is, everybody doesn't have experience. You have to make sure that you're doing internships. Internships are the key. Because when you get on a job, I mean, they might see that degree program, they might see your GPA, but they want to figure out, when we put you in a situation, can you shake your bake? And one thing that I kept in my mind as I was graduating from FAMU, and I knew that people at Harvard and Stanford were graduating from these big programs with these great GPAs and great degree programs, I said to myself, your family might come from privilege. Your mama and your daddy might make more money than my mom and dad make. You might come from a better school, but you will not outwork me. And so where do you start? You outwork the next person every single day. You got 24 hours. And sometimes outworking somebody means getting over the fear of yourself. Sometimes you hold yourself back. That goes for all of us. Internships, and don't get outworked.
Just to add to that, you got to understand, that's the value of community service. It helps you gain experience.
To add on to Calvin, he asked me to be 100% correct with that. The only thing that I can suggest is every student, when you first hit campus, you need to take a trip on career services and plant that seed. Plant that seed over there, career services, and go 2-3 times a week. You got to go every day, but they don't forget about you. So when that time they ask for a great student, a great profile for internship, you recommend it. And I found that to be like one of the most things that we overlook on campus, the career services. You got to forget it when you graduate, you need a job. So plant that seed, career services. But add on to what Calvin said, that's 100% correct.
Good. Any other questions? All right, we're going to keep the train moving. Hold on. Now, for y'all, we do want to give y'all this. Why don't y'all give them a hand, because they came to do this. They didn't ask for anything. And normally when you're going out and you're speaking like this, they pay you good money to share your story. And they came, come on, Bridget, y'all put that together. They came to give you for the low. They did it for the low. And so that means they did it for free. So to Calvin and Jason, it's a certificate of appreciation presented to Jason Griffin and Calvin L. Hayes in recognition of your support and participation as the keynote speakers for the 2013 Spring Term Parent-Student Symposium, January 24th, 2013. Signed, Dr. Tanisha Carter, Director of Bridges to Success, and Dr. Amy Kleeman, Assistant Vice President, College Transitions. Thank you, guys. We appreciate that. All right. As we keep the train moving, there's always a visionary that helps get the train movement. There's always a visionary that has a vision about how to help people. And so we're going to have our Bridges to Success manager come, Mr. Stover come. He's the visionary back almost 30 years ago. He's one of the ones who helped get Bridges to Success going. He started out with about 20 students a year, and now you see all the students that we have. I want you to put your hands together for the Bridges manager, Mr. John Stover.
It was a great program tonight, wasn't it? I know you guys have been filled, so you don't need any additional conversation tonight, so I'm going to be short and sweet. There are a few people that I would like to thank. I would like to thank for coming up here and taking their time to perform it for us. Dr. Cleveland, is she still here? I think she had to leave off. She's not here, Doctor? Okay. Dr. Cleveland had to leave, but let's give her a hand. It's Miss Lawson. Miss Lawson, she's here in the corner. Stand. She's with our Parents Association. We're part of the program tonight. We want all the parents in here to make sure you see her, you sign up, you figure out how can I get involved in Bridges as parents. Because your students not only need your support tonight, but once the term, they need your support on an ongoing basis. So we do need more parents to get involved. Please contact the Parent Association so you can get involved. Miss Tomlinson, is she here? Oh, she's teaching class tonight. I'm sorry that she missed the program, but let's give her a hand anyway. She's one of our specialties in the house here. She's been doing this program for us every year that she's been in Valencia, in the Bridges program. She does a good job emceeing the program, calling on people, keeping it going with Dr. Robinson tonight. Please stand up. Let's thank her. Pretty soon going on to the university, the big school. We wish her well. We'll miss her. We'll call her back to continue to do. This will become your tradition for us. Okay, don't give up. Do it with conviction. Boy, what a message. Let's call them back up again. We can never thank you enough, especially since you take care of the goal on free. And how we even stop. Let's give them another hand. He has a book that's going to be on sale, and he'll share that with you. But please support him by buying this book, especially since he traveled all the way to this place just to speak to you and our students at no cost. Matter of fact, it costs him money to come here. So one way we can show our support and our love as Bridges students and Bridges parents and students is to support him and purchase his book. I understand you sold out of the physical book last night. You're doing orders online tonight, is that right? So let's support him. Let's please. All right, let's give all of the Bridges staff. Please raise your hands. To the parents. Let me apologize for the stand that you had to stand. It's a great thing to have so many people in the Bridges program that the college doesn't have a facility large enough to hold it. We really appreciate it. That's a blessing that we've gone from 20 students, taking 20 students a year to 400 students a year. So and not to imagine, not to even say how much that costs the college, how much money they invest in this Bridges program, paying for the tuition and the books and so on. So even though the president is not here, he always sends his wishes to parents of Bridges and to the students. Let's thank the president of Valencia College. Please stand, parents, stand. When you guys, you all are wonderful. You all are beautiful. I want to give you a special thank you for coming out, supporting your students. and want to encourage you to continue doing with the students what you're doing, because so many students did not make it out of high school, let alone make it into college. So you have a lot to be thankful for, because your students are here tonight. May have gone a little long, maybe a little tired, but maybe a little tired, but the price you paid for waiting and for coming and standing is a small price for what it's going to yield for you in a few years with your students when they graduate. You may be seated, parents. And students, you stand up and tell your parents how much you love them. Stand up in your own words, stand up, tell them you owe some love, give them some love, and have them turn back over to you. Okay, I'm going to turn it over to Dr. Cobb.
Okay, before you leave, we have refreshments for you. Before you leave, we have some cookies and some punch. And I also wanted to let you know that Calvin Hayes, he did sell out of his books on last night. However, he has the pre-order for you from Amazon. He has the cover of the book that he will sign for you, so he'll have a table set up for you. And if you have some students who are interested in getting in a few of the photos with him, please come over. He will be posting those to his Twitter and Facebook and all of the things he do to promote his business. Mr. Jason Griffin, he encourages you to visit his foundation website, jasongriffinfoundation.org. The foundation helps The foundation helps single mothers and single fathers ages 6 through 18. That's jasongriffinfoundation.org. Thank you all for coming and have a good evening.